Hey everyone, I just wanted to share with you some encouragement that I received, some revelation that I received as I was ziplining. Today I went ziplining. This is my first time here. This is the background of where I am. This is not where the zip line is, it's further in. But I I don't like to be up high. I hate to say I'm afraid of heights, but I don't like to be up high because I notice a pattern when I am up high. My legs start to shake, my heart starts beating fast, and that may be normal, but mine beats super fast, and it's almost like an anxiety that comes over me. And I've done it a few different times because I was in the Army, and that was my first experience having to walk across a tightrope and hold on for dear life and not fall, or risk having to do it all over again. And every part of my body was weak. But nonetheless, as I was doing this, guys, first thing God showed me, I kept having to say the scripture, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I kept trying to sing through it, just get through it. But I'll tell you what happened. When I first started, right, the very first part of the course, I had to walk across, I think it was like some logs. And right then, I wasn't even logs. It was like it was like I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't logs. But I basically had to walk across these spaced out pieces of wood. That's what it was. And I immediately when I got up there, I started thinking about when I got afraid when I was in the Army doing that tightrope. And I was like, you know what? I told my friend, I was like, don't worry about it. I'm not going to do it. Go ahead, go ahead. I don't care about losing all the money that I paid for this. And I was about to get off. And then for some reason, I know it was God. My friend was trying to encourage me, but that didn't matter. It was the lady behind me who said something, and for some reason, it registered to my spirit as though it was the voice of God. She had a very soft voice, and she, was like, you can do it, da, 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 and it just encouraged me. It gave me that extra oomph, like, Carrie, you can do this. And do you know, when I finally stepped off and I did it, I felt better. And I noticed the more I did it, the more comfortable I got, to the point where I didn't want anyone to say anything to me. I just wanted them to tell me exactly what was required so that I can follow the specific instructions for my safety. But I was way more comfortable as I continued through the course. And so God showed me a lot of times we fear, and our fear causes us to not move and to give up before we can even attempt to do something that we would most likely succeed in, especially if He's telling you to do it. You're going to succeed in it if you trust Him. But just a while ago, it reminded me of who was it? Peter in the water, when he was going across the water and he took his eyes off of Jesus and he began to sink. But when he had his eyes on Jesus, he was going. But anyway, back to this course. So once I started going, my faith started being built. So it showed me, like, you have to push past fear, or move in the midst of your fear. And as you move, you will begin to build confidence, build courage. And He also showed me as we went through the course, because some parts of the course was harder than others, or more challenging than others. And in those times, you're like, I don't want to do it, because every so often you get an opportunity to stop and get down. And I didn't want to give up. I wanted to make it to the end, because so often when things get hard for us, we want to stop. We want to give up in the middle of it, not knowing that you are able to go further. And when you go further, that's one hump you've gotten over, and that's an encouragement to someone else. And you don't know what blessing is at the other side. But too often we give up too soon. And that is something I can say is the story of my life. Like, if in the middle of something it gets too hard, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And I don't want to continue that path, because I know that's not the woman God called me to be. But that is something, that is my Goliath that I have to face, and I have to face, and I have to face. I do believe that God allows us to face things often to continue building our faith. So as I was going through the course, guys, there was, like I said, there was a point when I wanted to give up, but I kept going, and my faith was being built. And then finally, I got off the midway point, and they were like, you know what? There's a lot of people who didn't even continue, and we met up with people that were like, I stopped before we even started. And I was like, wow. So God also showed me in that some people aren't going to finish. Some people aren't even going to finish the course, meaning the mission, whatever challenges. You may all have an assignment or a mission that you're on, and some people are not going to continue with it. They're not going to finish with you because of fear. Fear is going to cause them to stop. And so that's why you can't rely on the next man's level of faith to get you to where you need to go, to help you accomplish what you need to accomplish. You have to trust God, and you have to know what He's telling you to do. And that's what God showed me. Hey, he's a little squirrel looking at me. So yeah, so he showed me that you have to, and he's like really looking at me. He's dead in my face. This squirrel, sorry, looking dead in my face, laying there like he's enjoying what I'm saying. Hey, squirrely. Hey, hey. But I'm sorry, guys. You see, I'm a little distracted. But anyhow, as I was saying, God showed me that you can't rely on the next man's level of faith to get you through something, because other people may talk to you and say things to you out of their own fear. And if you allow their fear to stop you, then you will never see what God has for you, where God wants you to go, right? I don't know if that's a sign that I need to move, because like I don't know a lot about squirrels, but he's like dead in my face. Like, all right, so I'm going to get up and finish this video. So what God showed me was that, like, you have to trust him. You don't trust the faith of your mom, your dad, your pastor, whomever. He'll use them to encourage you, but sometimes people say things and they place fear in you, even though you may have done well with it. So you have to trust God. You can't allow fear to lead you, to guide your decisions. And guys, push past fear. If I could give this message a title, it would be Push Past Fear. Because I pushed past and I accomplished way more than I thought I would. As a matter of fact, there were points where I got so bold and I could see that my confidence encouraged the person who was at one point more confident than me. And that's how life is. When we do things, guys, we push past our fear. When we do certain things, it encourages someone else. And sometimes a person who you're looking to as an encouragement, they may need that moment of encouragement from you. So guys, like I said, push past fear, allow God to lead you. That's a revelation I got. There was one last revelation. But the two revelations, like I said, is the people who start with you may not end with you because of fear. But don't allow someone else's fear to cause you to stop. And it could be fear of embracing something new. It can be fear of just the unknown. And some people just simply aren't ready to take on that challenge, because some people knew they weren't ready and they're like, we didn't expect this. Oh, and that's another thing. Another revelation is God will lead us to certain things, and he doesn't tell us all the obstacles we will see along the way, because I really just came out here to zip line. You see it on TV, you see it in the on social media, and it's fun. You grab on and you just slide. That's the most exciting part. But I didn't expect to go tightrope walking along these different setups. You know, we have logs, we have cut up piece of woods, just all kinds of different things. And some are high, some are low, some are very spaced out. And it's just like, really? And so God showed me that too. Like, he's not going to tell us all the challenges we will face as we move, you know, according to his leading, as we move in a certain direction in faith. But we have to trust that he gave us enough instruction to get us through and to what we need to get through and what we need to get to. And not just that, the challenges will get harder, but those harder challenges along the way are meant to build your faith. Because every time I did it, I felt good, like, yeah, I did it, you know. And it's never gonna be a point, he also showed me that, where you're just gonna arrive like, I just accomplished everything, I have absolutely no fear. Fear is gonna always try to creep up on us, guys. So we have to constantly be challenged, and life is set up in such a way that we are going to be challenged, especially if we're moving in faith, if we're moving in the direction God has us to move in. And my friend right now, she's finishing up the course. I didn't get off because I was afraid. I got off, it was 51, he said, obstacles, and I got off at 32. And the reason I got off, because I was exhausted initially, and I didn't want to keep going in exhaustion. But to be honest, I want to encourage you, even when you feel tired, if you're an athlete, you push past that, because I was so close to the end and I kept debating, like, maybe I need to get back on. But at the same time, my stomach started rumbling, my stomach started hurting. I'm like, nah, I'll take that as a cue for me to get off. So I feel good now, you know. But you also need to know, that's a new revelation, when it's time to stop. When my stomach started grumbling, I was not grumbling, rumbling. I knew I had to get off, because that wouldn't be good. But either way, I'm happy I did that, you know. I said I'd never do it again, but you know, deep down I'm like, dang, I really want to finish, because I felt horrible. And God showed me some of me as far as areas, not, I'm not gonna say a struggle, but just pattern behavior that I need to be mindful of. You know, not giving up too easy. You know, not giving up when things are hard. So that's something for me to apply. Y'all don't worry about what's in my shirt. All right, so don't let fear stop you. Don't rely on the faith of someone else to do whatever God is leading you to do or to move ahead in your purpose. And know that you have to push past fear. And when you push past fear, not only will your faith be built, you will become more confident and you will help someone else. You'll be an encouragement to someone else. And that is it for this video.